All right, now on today's video, I want to speak about standards and how to elevate them. Now you need to understand that many men, and I'm saying many men, doesn't have a list of standards, nor do they understand what they are. Because let's face it, most of you guys out there, and I'm pointing at you, Bob, because you just don't know what are your standards because you are just like going through life without no expectation at all, not knowing what you want because you've been passed down the belief that you are living it with today. All right. Now, what does that mean is if you hang out with 5 losers, you're going to turn out to be the 6th one. Okay. And it's not totally your fault because you probably are not even aware that you don't have standards because you believe you got some at some point because you're going through life. Let's face it. Maybe you're doing good, maybe you're doing bad, but you're going through life, you're alive. There's something to be done, all right? But you need to understand what are your standards in order to elevate them. Because let's face it, what's it good to be alive if you're not at least trying to do better? What's the purpose of life if you're not even trying to do better than the day before or the week before? I mean, there's a point we are alive. It's to be alive, to help out and to spread out our wealth, our knowledge, our love. Okay? So let's start by writing that simple question on a piece of paper. We're going to start with the standards now. What's my standards? All right? Ask yourself that question right away. What's the first thing that come up? Blank. And you're not alone. I don't have the percentage, but about 85-90% of the men I'm talking with cannot even answer that question right on the spot. Okay? Now, if you ask me that question, what's my standards? All right? My standards is I want to be able to run a marathon on the spot on moment notice. I want to have enough money in my bank account to last 6 months without working. I want my family to be happy and loved by me. Happy, sorry with that. I want my family to be happy all the time, and I want them to love me as I am, as a father, as a husband, and as a man, right? These are my 4 pillars as a person are this. So basically I want to be fit. I want to be wealthy enough so I will provide for my family and I won't be in a situation where I'll be struggling financially, and I want my family to love me and to love them so they can be happy. That's it. It's that simple. Some people have their answer to be so perfect and well crafted that the world will be in awe in front of their answer. But the thing is, this is my standards. This is for me to own. I don't give a Yeah, I'm gonna swear. I don't give a fuck about what people think about my standards. They made me the man I am today. I'm striving in life and I'm happy. So, how did I came up with those 4 simple answers? All right. I broke down that question right there. What's my standards regarding my physique? My physical standards. Okay? What's my standards regarding money? What's my standards regarding my family? And you can go, etc. Let's say we're friends. What's my standards with my friends? Do I want to hang out with 5 losers or do I want to hang out with 5 winners? The people you surround yourself with really matter. All right. So what's my standards regarding physique, money, family, and friends? Now you probably got a spear, how do you say that in English? A little idea of the answer that can go underneath each column there, okay? But we need to understand that this is going to be your standards. So you don't want to say, I want to be a millionaire, because if your standards if your standard is for you to be a millionaire, in order to elevate them, you're going to have to become a centimillionaire, okay? So start with some realistic standards, and throughout your life, you're going to elevate them, right? I'm not speaking some crappy, immensible dream law of attraction. I'm talking about real applicable standards in order for you to be a better person every day. So let's talk about your physique. I used to weigh 220 pounds, okay? I wanted to weigh 180 pounds. So my standard is 180 pounds. And if I'm not within that range, I'm not happy. I'm happy in life, but I'm not happy with myself because I'm not there. When I was 220, I wasn't happy because my belief, my standard was 180 pounds, money-wise, right? Of course, everybody wants to be a millionaire, but think about that for a second, because the more money you have, the more thing you have to look up to. Okay, so I want to have 6 months of safe. How can I say that? I want a six month of payment. So if anything happens to me, I'm bulletproof. Okay, this is my standard. Now for my family, and I'm gonna go all the way down to my personal list, but I'm giving you a rough idea of what you should do to find your standards. So my family, I want to provide for them, take care of them, so they can love me. My family, I think that love is overlooked and overused, but I want love in my family. In order to do that, I need to be healthy. I need to have money to provide for them. Because let's face it, when you lack money and you're always searching in the next dime, like marriage and couples tends to fight over money. So love is a bit harder to find. So for me, love, family, it's something that matters to me. And let's go down with the friends. Now, your friends, they need to be like, I don't want to hang out with fat people, okay? Not because they're bad people, because they tend to eat nasty food, drink alcohol too often, and have a line of thought that doesn't align with mine. So my friends need to be fit / doing sports, all right? Because it's not per se that a fat person doesn't do sports, but sometimes, and in the garage beer league, hockey league, the fat ones end up the game having a beer, and I don't want to be there. All right, so I'm hanging out with the boys that don't drink and that are fit. So this is my standards. Now, what is your standards? Okay, press pause. Look at that list of questions. What's my standards regarding my physique, my money, my family, and my friends? Write down what is your standards, and we're going to come up with the next part of that. So once you have all your answered about friends, family, money, and physique, you're going to use that tool that I'm calling the non-negotiable. I did not invent that. Many men use it, and you need to understand what non-negotiables are. So non-negotiables are actions to be taken every day. Okay? Non-negotiable are action to be taken every day, not something that you should not do. If I want to be healthy, I don't want to eat chips and cookies. This is not a non-negotiable. This is just common sense. The non-negotiable are action that you take, not something that you don't do. All right, keep that in mind. There's a big difference with both. And sometimes I hear some men come up with their list of non-negotiables saying to me, my non-negotiable is to not drink a beer. It is not an action. You subtract. Okay, you're subtracting from the things you need to do. You need to do more to elevate your games, not less. All right. So non-negotiable is going to be a list of things that, regardless of how you feel, how the day is going, whether you wake up on time or not, are going to be done. Okay, I'm helping fathers getting fit, and for me, a non-negotiable is exercising every day. So exercise. I don't care about what kind of exercise they do. They need to do their exercise every day. All right. It could be 100 push-up, 50 push-up, 30-minute walks. Exercise need to be done every day. Non-negotiable. Okay. For me, it's my cold plunge. So cold plunge every day. Regardless of the time of the day, regardless of how I feel, regardless of any out aspect of what's happening, cold plunge every day. Okay, this is going to be for the physical aspect. Okay, about money. Now, money is a subject that I like a lot. So physical, then money. Again, this is something you're going to do, not something you're not going to do. I'm not going to buy X, Y, Z. It's not a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable is something that you have to do. So, every week, every day, I'm going to put, I don't know, $100 in the bank. Every week. Every week. Here you go. So, action, $100 per week in the bank. That's going to help you get your money. Simple as that. Non-negotiable. So if you're short on money, if something came up, your car break down, what you're going to do? You're going to arrange yourself to put $100 in your bank account that you're not going to touch until you have 6 months of money in your bank for you to be like free mentally from the pain and the stress that comes along with money. There's many other things you could do, but this is just to let you know that non-negotiable is something that you do, not something you don't do. Like I've heard a lot before, I'm not gonna buy alcohol, I'm not gonna go to X and Y, I'm not gonna buy that brand new golf club. It's not about what you don't do, it's about what you do. Non-negotiable are actions, okay? And let's say we continue with friends. Family first. Family, all right? I want love in my family. What am I going to do in terms of non-negotiable to spread love in my family, all right? There's a non-negotiable for me, and I'm going to open myself up here right now. Kiss my wife every day. I don't give a fuck if I'm if I'm pissed at her. Every morning, every night, every moment of the day I got a chance, I'm going to kiss my wife. I'm spreading love, all right? And I'm going to hug my daughter every chance I get. Until she just doesn't want me to hug her in public, or I'm going to take every advantage I can to hug my daughter from the heart with all my love. And this is my way of spreading love in my family, because my daughter is going to grow up. Now she's none of your business. Now she's young, and at some point she's going to grow up to a point that she's going to become a teenager, and probably she doesn't want as many hugs as she wants right now. So I'm cherishing every moment. So you see, that's how non-negotiable works. You need to do its action to be taken every day, okay? Like, for instance, the money, if you want $100 per week, you're going to divide that to $33. You're going to divide that in the right amount of money for you to have the $100 a week. Okay, so this is how it works, guys. Once you understand what's your standards and what you want to achieve with them, you're going to break them down into non-negotiable action that you're going to do every day in order for you to elevate your standards. Okay, so from now on, what you're going to do, you're going to write that on a piece of paper. My standards regarding my physical aspect, my family, my money, my friends, my career, my personal objective. For instance, hold on a sec. I'm going to go with some personal objectives, non-negotiables, because once you got all that figured out, it's not boring, but you got them ingrained in your mind and everything is going well. And if you want a bit more, you're gonna go into personal objective. Okay? So in that section, because let's face it, it's endless. Your standards are endless regarding many aspects. The way you dress. I mean, it can go, the list can go on and on, but you got to figure out the basic one in order to further down the line have standards about what type of shoes you want to wear. How do you want to present yourself? Do you want to have a groomed beard all the time, or do you want to look like a bum on the street? Standards are on everything and everywhere, but figure out the four first one I'm talking about: family, physique, family, money, and friends. And after that, you're gonna realize that you're gonna be able to make a more good decision regarding the other ones. Objective, wrong color, doesn't matter. Personal objective. Now, for me, I want to be an ultra runner, so I'm gonna have to do a list of non-negotiable that goes along with that objective, that standard. Now, ultra runners usually run like 50K in less than 7 hours. Okay? So this is their standards. Okay? I'm not there right now. So, of course, I can compare myself to them, but my standards is to run a 50K in less than 9. Okay? And once I'm going to achieve that, I will be able to elevate my standards. Okay? Don't know if it makes sense to you guys, but the objective here for you to understand that you need to know your standards based on your belief in order to elevate them. And the tool I just gave you is the non-negotiable. So I hope that you enjoyed that quick video about elevating your standards and how to do it. My name is Max. I'm the founder of Father Empowering. Hope you guys have a great fucking day and go shape your legacy.